What's up, guys? It's Russo and Jordy with Backdoor Fantasy Sports, and we're so excited to get into our first Flex Friday with NBA. We've got a nice 10-game slate today, October 25th. All the vibes are good. We didn't hit all of our plays last night, unfortunately. I was wrong about Derek White. Man, he could have got it done. He was super close. And I should have, it's like, it was such a toss up because I was like, yeah, I know we've got that big 13.5 point spread. And then later on in the day, our boy Nod in Discord was like, yeah, it's Jaylen Brown's birthday. He's probably going to go off. I'm like, oh, great. He probably is. So I honestly was expecting, first of all, in the first quarter, I was thinking like, okay, man, the Wizards, like this new squad looks decent. Like this could be a lot of fun, and maybe it still will be. But by halftime, the Celtics had completely checkmated them. And I mean, Derek White played all the way up into the last like 2 minutes or so. And I was like, I just thought that Derek White was going to eat on defense more than he did. Yeah. So he just barely missed that. And then what were my other plays from yesterday?
See, you had.
How'd yours do? You're below Kubawale. You're below Kubawale was a clutch play though. He got that. Yeah. And then Chet Holmgren dominated. Like he looked so good. We took him his PRA at 26.5. He went for 44.
Yeah. Christian Braun, that was a stupid call on my part. I totally forgot about like all the trades in the off season. Definitely gonna clean that up. I'll admit it. That was just a stupid play, but he played a lot more minutes than I thought he would. He looked really good too. I took his PRA under 15.5, and by the first quarter when he was at 8, I was like, well, this is chalked. But yeah, those things happen. But Kevin Huerter, he had plenty of time. He played almost 30 minutes in this game, and he didn't have a single assist. He had like 6 potential assists, but no one could knock down the shots he was giving them. So that one just didn't pan out. But Bilal Coulibaly, he played great. He came out to a red hot start, and he got it done early. The turnovers are scaring me a little bit, but he did enough defensively and with like the rebounding and assisting to get it done. So
yeah, he was at 18 fantasy points at the half. I was like, dang, that's a great call by Jordy. And then my Dante DiVincenzo play, that was frustrating. If he wouldn't have had such a terrible start, he would have cashed this at just 21 fantasy score. I was thinking like, you guys know me, like with the fantasy score, I just love guys who can play defense. I thought like in this fast-paced game, he was going to have a lot of opportunities to grab some steals, and he played terrible up until like the fourth quarter, and then he started to swing back. But I think like he ended up going, we took him at 21 fantasy score. He went for 11.2. He ended up getting, I think, the majority of that 11.2 in like the fourth quarter. It was a bad outing for him. And I mean, like, he started the game with like 2 turnovers, and so I was sitting here looking at -2 fantasy score for like the first half. I'm like, oh my God, this did not turn out the way I had hoped. But we feel really good about the plays we have today though. Super excited for Flex Friday.
Absolutely.
So, and also I'm officially excited about starting the streaks on Underdog. I've got 2 of my plays today. I'm going to make a 2-man on Underdog and just start building that streaks. I think that's such a cool concept. Essentially, again, I don't have all the information. Like I know how it works, but I don't have all the exact figures. But essentially, if you cash a 2-man on Underdog, instead of taking the winnings, you can just keep each slate adding 1 play to that, and then you slowly build 1 by 1 across slates, and they keep boosting your multiplier as you go, and then you cash out whenever you want. Like, so it's such a cool concept. So I'm going to be going hard with streaks. We've got the 20%. Well, first of all, they're dropping boost tokens every day through the month of October, because it's Boosttober for Underdog. And this week they're giving you a 20% boost on every NBA slip you make. So Underdog is just really hooking us up this year for NBA. It's awesome. If you haven't signed up for Underdog yet, use code BACKDOOR. You get up to $1,000 in bonus cash with your first deposit, plus a free pick to help you cash your first slip. It's awesome. So I'm so thankful that we've got these platforms just really giving us some fun promos to start the NBA season. And then Sleeper, I haven't used it yet. I've still got my protected play, $25 protected play on Sleeper. I know they dropped that, I think, for everybody. So I don't know if it's 25 across the board for everybody, but Sleeper's running a bunch of discounts and promos as well. So if you haven't signed up for Sleeper, use promo code Backdoor FS. You get 100% deposit match up to $100. This is just the time. If you haven't signed up for these other platforms, this is the time, because there's promos and deals on all these platforms. So you might as well take advantage of all of them. And it's good to diversify too. I know Chalkboard and Sleeper, we were looking at some plays in Discord this morning. Nod was, and we couldn't find them on Prizepicks and Underdog, but Sleeper and Chalkboard had them. So it's good to be on multiple platforms. Absolutely. All right. Let's talk about these plays. Oh, dang. LaMelo got bumped, but I'll take it. So when we were starting this, I was taking LaMelo Ball at 33.5 points and assists. I'll still take 34. I'm going to be going for more. Let me see if Underdog moved on me. It looks like it's in the process of moving. So we'll see what it goes to on Underdog. Let me just pull it up real quick, because I know our screenshots for these won't be accurate, but we'll keep you updated on what they moved to. I like LaMelo Ball. If he's still at 34 points and assists, I'm going to still be taking that all day. 34.5. I'm going to still roll it. Go with your gut. In the meantime, I'll look for a pivot while we're breaking all this down if there's something else on Underdog that I think might be better than the points and assists. But I think this is entirely too low in general with this matchup. So I'm comfortable with that either way. But if I find a pivot for Underdog, I'll let you know. So let me get back to what the plays are. So we got LaMelo Ball, 34 points and assists on Underdog. On Prizepicks, 34.5 on Underdog. And then I'm going Miles McBride, PRA, one of my favorite plays of the day, 15.5 PRA, going up against Indiana, where he's had a great history. We'll break it all down. Getting that on Prizepicks and Underdog. And then Tyus Jones, my favorite play of the day, 25.5 fantasy score on Prizepicks. We do not have the fantasy score on Underdog, but what did I take? I think I took his PRA. Yeah, 18.5 PRA. Still love it. Just love the fantasy score for the defensive upside. What are you getting into, Jordy?
Yeah, so I'm going to be taking Amen Thompson's first half fantasy score over 10.5. I'm going with DeAndre Ayton's full game fantasy score at 33.5. And then I'm taking Scoot Henderson again for over 19.5 points and assists. And then on Underdog, we had to switch it up a little bit. I'm going with Amen Thompson's points and rebounds and DeAndre Ayton's PRA.
Okay, cool. And you got Scoot the same?
Yeah, Scoot's the same, PA.
Sweet. All right. Well, let's start breaking it down. We'll start here with LaMelo Ball. That's Miles McBride. Okay, so LaMelo Ball. I love this matchup. His first game in 2024, he went for 34 points and 11 assists against Houston, who's decent on defense. Now he's got Atlanta, who no longer has DeJounte Murray. So I'm feeling comfortable with the matchup. Up against point guards, Atlanta, this is based off last year, so I know there were some changes, but 30th in points allowed, 27th in assists allowed. But coming off of a game against Houston where he popped off for 11 assists and 34 points, we're getting this whole line at 34.5. That's why I was saying I'm comfortable with it. So on both platforms, I'm still comfortable with 34.5 on Underdog, especially when he popped off for that many points alone, pretty much in game one. So we are playing in Atlanta. I just like LaMelo Ball to be able to come out hot, and hopefully he stays healthy all season, because this dude is so talented, so fun. Let's see. Okay, so the only time he played Atlanta was last year, October 25th, and they were able to really lock him up. But again, I bet you that they had DeJounte Murray on him. So I don't know that they were able to replace a talent like DeJounte as far as a lockdown defender goes. So if you're uncomfortable with this play, just fade it. We're giving you 6. So piece it together however you'd like. Let's take a look at Okay, this is going to change. Let me update daily grind, because the optimizer does not like it when, okay, so they still like it. Usually if there's like a decent bump, the optimizer's like, hey, pump the brakes here. But in this case, they still like it over 34, 51.72% odds to hit. They actually still like it quite a bit. Minus 128. Let's see. Yeah, everybody's bumping this up to 34.5. Yeah, 33.5 was money earlier when we were first getting this, but we'll take 34. Everyone that has it, even at 34.5 on Underdog, the optimizer is showing that Underdog is juicing that to go over minus 122. So we're still comfortable with that. It's probably going to get bumped even more. So let's talk about Miles McBride. Like, I love this dude. He is such a baller. You know, if he keeps playing like this, he could be looking at sixth man of the year if he keeps this up all year. But today he's got Indiana, who they faced in the playoffs. And the dude was so consistent in that series. This is the head-to-head last year. Out of 5 games, he cleared this. 4 out of 5 games. He went for 25, 22, 23. Then he went for 15. So one more assist, point, or rebound, he would have cashed that. And then the last time they matched up, he went for 24. So feeling really comfortable with this. He was averaging 34.7 minutes a game in that series. And then if we, oh wait, yeah, so that was on the last 5, but it's because that was in the series. What am I looking for here? 2024. Let's see how he looked in his first game. He went for 24 PRA. It's mostly points and assists. I'm just taking that, like, I think the value, adding the rebounds in there, I'm just comfortable taking the whole thing, even though like he has games, especially, sorry, I'm getting a little bit all over the place here, but if you look at these last 5 against Indiana, he actually did have some games like on May 12th, he had that game where he popped off for 5 rebounds. It's usually not too many rebounds, so if you see the points and assists and you like it, go for that. But 15.5, I think he's going to kill this in points alone. In his first game of 2024, like we said, he went for 24. He got 25.9 minutes, and he cleared it by that much. So this matchup on paper is pretty tough because the Pacers are actually pretty solid on defense. They also play, if it's anything like last year, they were like the fastest team in the league. So there's a lot going on. But if you watch this kid play, it's like he's just like a bucket out there. Even when he's heavily contested, making off-balance shots, like he got a 3-pointer and 1. I'm pretty sure he had a 4-point play in the first game. The dude is just nothing but net most of the time. So I'm very comfortable taking this at 15.5. I think that's way too low for him. Let's hop over to the optimizer. So they've got his PRA favor to go over. Like I had mentioned, the points and assists, they like it a little bit better. So if you'd rather take that, because you are getting it at 12.5, if you want to take that, I don't think they have it on Underdog, but it is on Prizepicks because there's a 3-point differential there with the rebounds. But I'm comfortable taking the full PRA just in case he happens to grab a decent amount of boards. But again, at 15.5, I think he can clear this line on points alone. But the full PRA is a 50.81% odds to hit the over minus 122. Everyone's got this at 15.5. Everyone's favoring it to go over, except for DraftKings has it right at the 50-50 mark, minus 115. So loving that play. And then my favorite play, Tyus Jones, last year led the league for point guards in assist to turnover ratio. So one of the things that makes us hesitate a little bit with fantasy score is, does this player get a lot of turnovers? You remember in the first episode with Scoot Henderson, Jordy and I were kind of like figuring out, why are they favoring his fantasy score to go under? It's because he gets like 5-6 turnovers a game. So Tyus Jones does not do that. In his first game out, he's been a perfect fit for the Suns too. I mean, it's only a 1-game sample size, but as a Suns fan, I'm so thankful that it looks like we have a true point guard this year. And he came out hot, played great, 11 points, 2 rebounds, and 8 assists. And then this matchup tonight against the Lakers, 25th in points allowed to point guards, 23rd in rebounds allowed, 20th in assists allowed. So we're loving that. But in his first game out, he went for a block and 2 steals. So for fantasy score, that's 9 points alone. And then the Lakers, I know we've got a little bit of different roster changes, but the Lakers are somewhat similar to what they were last year. 22nd in steals allowed to point guards, first in blocks allowed. So point guards aren't getting a lot of blocks on them, but steals quite a bit. So I love him to be able to get that done. And then his first game, he played, he played 35 minutes. So, he's the starter, and I'm really loving what Mike Budenholzer's doing. He kept him on the floor a lot, and he did exactly what we need him to do, so I'm loving this play. I already have it locked in on a 2-man with Miles McBride. Let's go to the optimizer. So they have his points rebounds as the best play. If you'd rather take that, 53.15% odds to hit the over, -135. The fantasy score, they have favored to go over as well. 51.58% odds to hit the over. We can see DraftKings already has this up at 26.1. So I'm loving this play. I feel like he can get a little bit scrappy, but should be little to no concern about the turnovers going against his fantasy score. So I'm super pumped about this play. If you guys want to check out this DFS optimizer, it's a killer tool, and it helps us really figure out, you can vet your plays, but you can also just see if you'd rather take this line on a different platform, because you can see all the platforms, all the odds that are out there. And then it also just, like I've shown you before, when you're just looking for plays, if you don't have someone typed in on the search bar, it just does the work for you. So see, like, there's a lot of unders that are hot on the board right now. I'm more hesitant to take unders. They just give me anxiety. but this time of season is a good time for unders. But yeah, this optimizer just gives you everything you need to know, does all the work for you, puts them in order. If you guys want to check this out, use code BACKDOOR at dgfantasy.com. You'll get 25% off your first subscription, and you can lock that in up to a year. So as long as you want to extend that, you can lock in the whole NBA season if you want. And then if you want to check out this app Outlier, you can try it for free. Just go through the link in the description of the video for Outlier. And once you sign up with them, they're just going to let you have it risk-free for a week. And you can take advantage of this opening week. And you can use it for basketball, football. They give you my favorite thing. I don't know what my favorite thing is about Outlier. I love being able to look at all these statistics. And then I also love the matchups. So you get your matchups there, injury reports. So Grayson Allen game time decision, Bradley Beal game time decision. So that makes me like this even more. In some ways, for assists, it's kind of like, a little bit of a bummer because Bradley Beal is probably going to be contributing to those assists. But yeah, you get your injury reports, and then they also give you insights about the players. And there's a ton of them. So if you want little notes about the players, it'll kind of point you in the direction. It'll give you an insight, and then it'll show you the related prop to it, so you can jump right to it. So yeah, try it out for free, guys. It's a perfect time. All right, Jordy.
All right, yeah. So I'm gonna be. Let's see here. Let me make sure this is picking up my screen. Why it always does this to me. All right, here we go. So for me, I'm going to be starting off with the Scoot Henderson play, his PA. This is a really tough matchup. Just mind you that. I mean, his PA, this dude has been on a absolute heater for the last 10 games. I know that stretches into last season, but he's gone 10 for 10 on this. And the head-to-head in the last game against the Pelicans, he went for 34 PA in this game. He had 15 assists and 19 points. This guy is an absolute baller. He was coming off the bench in the last game, which is really disappointing. I want to see this guy start. But even with him coming off the bench in that last game, he had 27 minutes and he went for 26 PA, or 22 points, 4 assists. Scoot Henderson is an absolute just energy battery when he's on the floor. Like, the dude never stops playing, and he's always just playing at like 100%. So I really love this play. The first half PRA looks really good to me too, but I really like the full PA, just so you're not sweating out, the first half stuff. On some of the first half stuff, I do love it, but for Scoot, he does get a lot of second half minutes as well, because he's got so much energy that they just put him out there and he's just running the floor. But a little bit of a tough matchup. 11th in points allowed, 6 in assists. We'll see how the Pelicans defense looks this year. I think they're still going off of maybe a little bit of last year's stats, or maybe they're just going off of just the last game now. But it is looking a little tough, but I think he'll be able to get it done. They're still getting up 8 assists. So he has a lot of wiggle room to get this done. If we look at this on Daily Grind, it is juiced to go under. They like his rebounds assists over at 7.5. So if you guys like that, I do like that play as well. But the dude just scores at will, so I really want the scoring involved. The full PRA got bumped up quite a bit. It's at 22.5 now. We got it at 20.5 in the last video, even though he did cash that with no problem. The rebounding did look a little bit tough, so I do like the assist, the PA, I think the most here. But if you do like the rebounds and assists, this guy is really good at snagging rebounds, so the rebounds assist does not look bad to me either. That is the one that is juiced to go over, so go with your gut on that one, but I'm taking the PA for Scoot. And then next I got DeAndre Ayton's fantasy score. I'm taking the full game fantasy score. He just missed it in the last game against Golden State. They actually played a lot better defense than I thought they would for not having like a true big. They were running Draymond at the 5, and you know, which is pretty common for them. But last year in the head-to-head for DeAndre Ayton, going into this matchup against the Pelicans, this dude went crazy last year against them. 54, 36, and 47. This fantasy score in general is just really low for him. As you can see, he just didn't play a full season last year. He did this in 32 out of 55 games, so he went really crazy on this. With DeAndre Ayton, it's not like an athleticism thing. The dude is super athletic. It's just sometimes he comes out and he just, you know, is really lackadaisical. He doesn't really put his effort into it, and I think that's why the Suns ended up letting him go. But you know, this is a good matchup for him. He matches up pretty well against the Pelicans. If you look at this matchup on paper, if we take a look at the PRA, 21st in points allowed, 25th in rebounds, 27th in assists to center. So he's got a really soft matchup here. Really liking what I'm seeing for DeAndre Ayton in this matchup. The full PRA, I don't know why it keeps putting in a bunch of E's here. For Ayton, the fantasy score is juiced to go under just slightly. The odds, so it's weird because the percentage is juiced to the under, but the odds are favoring the over. So I like the over on the fantasy score for sure. His full PRA is juiced to go under, or it's juiced to go over. Sorry, the full PRA is juiced to go over. So I love the fantasy score. This dude can he can rack up a ton of blocks. If you look at some of these matchups he had last year, he can get you 2 or 3 blocks sometimes. So it just really depends on him, on what he feels like doing. Obviously the steals too. He's really good at getting the ball back after like blocking it or just stealing it or whatever. He's a really long, lengthy dude. So loving the full fantasy score here for the defensive purposes, and he doesn't turn the ball over a whole ton, so that's always good. So really liking that one. This play though is probably my favorite. Amen Thompson, this dude's an absolute baller. In 11 minutes he got 18 fantasy score in the first half of the last game. The dude is just really solid. He's a great defender. I really love this matchup for him. Last year in the head-to-head he played 14 minutes in the first half and had 15 fantasy score. You can see over 62 games he cashed his 34 times, but it was all in that back half of the season that he really started to pick it up. So he's getting a lot of first half minutes now. The dude is really good. So I love this play a lot. Not too much more to talk about on this one. If you like the full fantasy score, if you don't like the sweating out the first half stuff, the full fantasy score does look good. I mean, last time he played Memphis, granted Memphis was really banged up last year, he went for 43 fantasy score in the whole game, but in the last game of this year, the last game he just played, he only went for 20.8. so he is getting really active in the first half, where he got, I mean, 20 of that 18 of that 20 fantasy score he got in the last game came in the first half. He had 18 in the first half. So really liking the first half for Amen Thompson. And that's going to do it for me. If you guys want to check out Chalkboard, definitely go check them out. They're a lot of fun. They're another daily fantasy app like Prizepicks or Underdog, but what they do is they give you a whole bunch of alt lines. So if you guys like to, you know, finagle with your plays, if you're not liking, like, let's say LaMelo Ball at 25.5 points, if you're like, hey, I think he can go for 30 tonight, you could probably bump that up to like 29.5 and get like a 2.5x or a 3x on it, just depending, you know, what the play is. But there's a lot of crazy plays on there, like parlay style plays where you can take like who's gonna get the first basket of the game. I seen that one pop up last night and it was like a 10x play. Like there's some crazy multiplier plays on there that pop up sometimes, so it's a lot of fun. They have them for football too that are always fun, where it's like first score of the game or first touchdown of the game. So a lot of fun stuff over there on Chalkboard. They also run 6 specials a day, whether that's a boosted multiplier on just a regular line, or they're discounting you a line and just giving you the regular multiplier. a lot of fun over there. So if you want to check out Chalkboard, there's a link in the description below. Just use code backdoor at checkout and they'll match your first deposit up to $100 and give you a free play to help you cash your first slip. So that's going to do it for me.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm on Chalkboard right now. They have 16 specials on the board.
Oh my God.
So yeah, they've got 6 NFL, 6 NBA, 2 baseball, and 2 hockey. So yeah, they're killing it over there. Yeah, man. What was your scoop play again? Points, assists?
PA, yep.
Okay, cool. We usually lock these in before the video starts, but just wanted to lock that in real quick.
Okay.
All right. So if you guys want to come join our Discord, killer community over here. If you enjoy the show, it's the best way to support the channel. Just kind of helps Jordy and I continue to get more into just like full-time doing what we're doing, which is we're pretty much there as far as like the amount of hours we put in every day. But this is the best way to support the channel as well. But we work together as a community. Last night, actually, it was a close call. I mean, I was watching the end of the football game, and then our boy Guru, one of our members, hit me up about making a second half slip for the NBA. And I was like, okay, like I'm going to do my best, but I've been watching the football game more, but still put together a slip that I did not cash on because I took this whole line here, put this together for second half, which is another advantage of being in the Discord. We build out second half slips together while we're watching the games. But yeah, I had originally taken Christian Braun fantasy score in the second half. And by the time our boy Bean Daddy went to copy the slip, they removed his fantasy score, so we went with the PRA, which actually did cash. The fantasy score missed by less than a point, but yeah, I was stoked that Bean Daddy was able to cash. Guru and I just got the double up. But if you guys want to come join us, just go through the Patreon link in the description of the video. Patreon manages our subscriptions, so when you sign up through Patreon, you go into the settings after you're signed up, and then there's a connected apps option in the menu bar, and then you just connect your Discord right there, and it'll unlock the channel. You can come join us, and we'll be building out Flex Friday together today. And then come follow us on our socials. We're on X at BackdoorFS. We're on TikTok, Instagram, just putting out bonus content. And I also want to tell you about our analyst Moose. I know he's on here, but Moose is the king of 2-man plays. This is him right here. So if you want free 2-man plays every single day, multiple times a day, go follow Moose on X. He puts them out. Yeah, I went hard on Will Reichard last night, and unfortunately that did not pan out. But yeah, Moose will have some plays he's posting, so go follow him. Me, Jordy, Moose, all of our handles are in the description of the video. But guys, enjoy your Flex Friday. We're excited to go into the weekend, and yeah, I can't wait to build out my slip. So good luck to you. Have a great weekend. We'll catch you in the next video.
Good luck, guys.